Los Angeles International Airport is one of the busiest airports in the world. Also known as LAX, and very well known for being the western gateway into the US, it is an airport that everyone around the world knows. With that, LAX has been struggling with capacity and other bottlenecks, with this being one of the main airports into the US. What's going on, everybody? My name's Cool Titanium 68, and in today's American Airport Expansions episode, we're going to be going over the plan to fix and modernize LAX. Let's roll the intro. Now, before we start, let's talk about what I mean when I say fix LAX. It's still one of the busiest airports post-demic. However, LAX hasn't set a new passenger record since 2019, the year before the pandemic. LAX is one of the oldest airports, opening almost 100 years ago, and since then it has grown substantially. You have problems like traffic congestion going to and from the airport, as well as congestion in other places like security checkpoints, has hampered this airport for decades. On top of this, parts of this airport have not aged well, leading to LAX looking like an airport from a quote-unquote third world country. And that's not me saying that, that is pretty much a lot of other news agencies saying that too. Now, starting back in 2008, Los Angeles World Airports, the authority that owns LAX, as well as the Van Nuys Airport for the city of Los Angeles, has started multiple projects collectively worth close to about $30 billion now to modernize LAX as well as expand this airport. Now, all of these airports will fix some of the bottlenecks at LAX while also allowing the airport to last for decades, even after the 2030 Olympics. Now, going off of some of these projects, let's start off with some of the completed ones. Starting off at Terminal 1. Now, this terminal was done in two phases. The first phase was completed in 2018 with a full interior renovation, replacing everything with more efficient, environmentally friendly equipment. Included refurbished arrival and baggage claim area, passenger board replacement, and a new consolidated TSA checkpoint, among others. Now, with this terminal being 30 years old, a lot of the equipment was near the end of its service life. On top of this terminal can now accommodate 13 Boeing 737-sized aircraft, and also has electric vehicle charging stations and a move towards an entirely electric ground-based service equipment. Now, mind y'all, Terminal 1 is majority operated by Southwest, so that is why it can operate 13 Boeing 737s, because the 737 is what Southwest uses. Now, for the second area of renovation, that was done in 2021. And what they did is they built a brand new terminal core extension that connects Terminals 1 to Terminal 2. Now, mind y'all, as we go into a later thing, these are actually now considered to be their own terminal now. But Terminal 1 did connect back up to here, especially with there being some new stuff going to be going on over here. Again, we'll talk about in a little bit. Now, again, the second phase opened in 2021, where they added the new terminal core into Terminal 1, which connects 1 and 2. This added an elevated pedestrian bridge that is this thing right over here to the brand new automated people mover system. This connects, at least at this station, this connects 1, the middle of 2, and then also I believe this is 6 over here into one spot. So now everyone can use that. On top of this, they added 2 baggage carousels, another TSA checkpoint, and more ticketing desks, among others. Completed at a combined total of $980 million. This gates mainly serves Southwest, but also serves other airlines like Sun Country, Allegiant Air, and Frontier. Now, the next completed project at LAX is Terminals 2 and 3. Now, both of these serve as a hub for Delta Airlines, and the combination of these two into one project is what's known as the Delta Skyway at LAX modernization project. On top of modernizing Terminal 2, and I'll show y'all, let's go back right around here, they also rebuilt Terminal 3. So this is what it looked like beforehand, and that's what it looks like now. So they rebuilt Terminal 3, they also rebuilt a new core, so you can either come here onto this station, or you can come to this station here, which brings you into the Bradley International gates at Terminal 4. Oh, that's a Terminal B, and then you've got Terminal 4 and a connection for that onto the automated people mover system. At a cost of $2.3 billion, Delta now utilizes a total of 27 gates between the two terminals, 14 from Terminal 3 and 13 from Terminal 2. On top of this, there's also a new centralized check-in lobby, as well as a new expanded security checkpoint, and one of Delta's largest Delta Sky Clubs. Again, there's also 2 pedestrian walkways connecting the automated people mover system. Again, there's one in between 2 and 3, and then there's also one like right in front of 3. for the automated people mover system. The next completed project at LAX is going to be terminals 7 and 8. So that is going to be these two gates right over here. Operating as United Airlines' hub, these two gates saw a $546 million renovation. Some of the highlights features included a consolidated 12-lane TSA checkpoint that features the first implementation of the automated screening lanes at LAX. On top of this, some of these interior renovations included a new 20,000 square foot United Club Lounge, revamped check-in lobby, new carousels for arrivals, and a full modern redesign. On top of this renovation included reconfiguring the gates to allow for 19 narrow and a wide body gates. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the Tom Bradley International gates. So this is what's known as Terminal B, and these includes these here as well as this area right over here. Operating nearly 45 airlines, this is the big international terminal for LAX, with close to 40 gates spread out along 2 buildings, as well as remote gates on the very west side of the airfield. Back in 2021, LAX added a 15-gate building, so that is this building right here. So they added this 15-gate building back in 2021 at a cost of $1.7 billion across from the current Tom Bradley International Terminal. Connected via an underground pedestrian tunnel, I guess it's probably similar and more modern to the pedestrian tunnel over at Terminal E at DFW. This terminal allows for more gates and 60,000 square feet for future airport lounges. This expansion is one of the most obvious differences you'll see at LAX and is the only quote-unquote new building that doesn't include demolishing and rebuilding an existing terminal. Or, as we'll talk about later, there's another project going on at that terminal. Now, the next completed project is actually not close to the terminals. So what I mean by this is the next project is actually not located within the terminal core. So this is what's known as the core, where you've got 1 through 8, as well as Terminal B. And again, these are some of the Westgate things that you'd have to take by bus, but it's actually off-site, and that is this lot right here. That is the LAX Economy parking lot. Roughly located just east of runway 24 left, this 4-story parking garage offers 4,300 parking spaces that will have an adjacent stop with the automated people mover system when that opens up in the coming years. Specifically located between Westchester Parkway and 96th Street, this is the main alternative for passengers to park outside the central terminal area. And it's also going to be easier because then you don't have to use a shuttle, you can use the automated people mover system. Now this also incorporates a smart parking indicator system similar to the ones at DFW Airport's terminal side parking lots at A and D. Now honestly, I'm not sure if terminals B and E have this, and I would probably bet that C is probably going to have this as well. I don't normally fly out of B because I don't fly regional, and I only really fly American, so they don't really fly out of E. Now, it does utilize both short-term and long-term parking, and does have electric vehicle chargers, as well as a new meet and greet area, with free shuttles to the terminals and restrooms on top of the connections to the new automated people mover system. Now again, opening in 2021, this is the first project to open that is part of a $5.5 billion collection of projects named the Landside Access Modernization Project. Now that we've discussed most of the completed projects that you will experience currently at LAX, let's start with the rest of the projects that are under construction, starting off with the highly anticipated automated people mover system. So the automated people mover system is going to be the new mover system that is going to greatly connect LAX a lot better. So this will connect the central terminal area, so all of these gates here, and it'll also connect you to the economy parking lots, so that if you don't want to take a shuttle, you can just park here. So this will be the mass transit connection that's going to connect all the way over to, man, why am I forgetting what line this is? I took this coming here, because the thing is that at LAX you have to take a shuttle from from the mass transit stop here to the central terminal area over here. But on top of that, there's also going to come into the new consolidated rent-a-car facility. And we'll talk about that because this is not officially open, even though it looks like it's mostly open. But it's not open yet. We'll talk about it. Let's talk a little bit more about this automated people mover system. Now, this will be LAX's electric-based people mover system that'll move you to and from the terminals and then specific locations outside of the central terminal area. This will include 6 stops. So there will be 3 stops for each of the 8 terminals, and then there will be 3 stops outside of the terminals. Now, the 3 stops outside are going to be the now completed economy parking garage, the airport connector station, and the new consolidated rent-a-car facility. These trains do plan to operate 24/7, and between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 p.m., There will be 9 4-car sets on this 2.25-mile track, which each car is set to be capable of carrying up to about 200 passengers, including their luggage. When this opens, the airport projects to see about 37 million annual passengers on this people mover system. Staying on this landside access modernization project, let's now take a look at this consolidated rent-a-car facility, also known as ConRack. So as you can see here, this is a massive parking garage, and that's pretty much all it is. Because there's not a lot of space at LAX, they've built a massive parking garage here. Every single company, so like Avis, Enterprise, Budget, all the car rental facilities are going to be operated out of here. Now a little bit more about this. This facility will offer 18,000 parking spaces with 6,600 ready/return spaces, 10,000 idle vehicle storages, and then 1,100 rental car employee spaces. When this opens, the facility, as well as the automated people mover system, will eliminate up to 3,200 daily shuttles to and from the central terminal area alone. Now again, located adjacent to Interstate 405, this facility currently has costed about $1 billion to build. Now, as we move back into the central terminal area, let's take a look at terminals 4 and 5. So with both terminals serving as the hub for American Airlines, this has been in need of renovations. Terminal 4, so that is this one right here, was originally built in 1961. And this one's actually getting a full rebuild. So what they're going to do here is they've already worked on rebuilding this area here, but they're going to expand this block right here. They're going to expand the satellite bridge here. Because originally, it was just this satellite terminal here. If you guys want to take a look, I mean, this is what it used to look like back in 1994. I mean, it's kind of expanded, but this used to be its own thing. And I don't think there's a good picture from 1985. But from 94, this used to be the only thing that they had. It used to be like this, and they didn't even have this bridge back in like 40 years ago. Like, this was just a satellite terminal. They built this recently. Also, I did not realize just how different this used to look. I mean, Tom Brady International Terminal used to be a lot smaller than this, and there was a lot more stuff here. It looked like they did utilize some Western gates, but I mean, I think like a 24, completely different airfield. Again, the plans for Terminal 4 includes demolishing and rebuilding the satellite and satellite extension building. So this is the satellite extension building that they're redoing, and then they're also going to rebuild the satellite building here sooner or later, but they're still going to keep that connector building. This will decrease the gate count to 15, but the new parking positions will offer greater flexibility while also converting 4 of these gates for international use, specifically for American Airlines. Now, on top of this, Terminal 5 will see the addition of 2 new gates, bringing it up to 15. And lastly, in this project, a new post-security connection will connect Terminals 4 and 5, as well as a bridge connecting these 2 terminals to the automated people mover system. And that's pretty much what's been mostly built right here. So this is the new connector connecting 4 and 5, and then there's going to be a new walkway to the automated people mover system. Now, let's take a look at Tom Bradley International Terminal. Now, as I said before, we do have a new middle concourse for the Tom Bradley International gates. This was recently completed about 5 or 6 years ago, and that's what it looks like. And as you can see here, they're doing some construction right down here. And what they're doing, this is what's known as the Southern Midfield Extension Project. So they're going to extend the southern building down, and if I remember right, they're going to add an additional 146,000 square feet, as well as 8 narrow body gates to Concourse B. Now, this will utilize a technique known as off-site construction and relocation. This is similar to what DFW Airport does, or at least what they've done with their southernmost 5 gates and what they're going to do with Terminal C. This new concourse extension will be built about 1.5 miles away, not near the central terminal area. It's still inside LAX, but it's not right now. It's not on site. It will be built in 9 segments and is planned to open sometime late next year. The next up is going to be Terminal 6. Now, this is the main hub for Alaskan Airlines, but is also used by Air Canada, Porter Airlines, as well as Advanced Air and Southern Airways Express. So this is the gates that they are working on. This is Terminal 6. Again, it's mainly used by Alaskan Airlines, And I believe, and what they're doing is they're going to rebuild some of these concrete gates here, just again for a little bit more flexibility. A little bit more into that. Starting back in 2021, Terminal 6 will see 2 new gates on top of a renovated interior lounges, as well as a new terminal core that will connect Terminals 5 and 6, as well as a new walkway to the automated people mover system. I mean, there's not much really going on to it other than those 2 to 3 new gates that they're building out. 4 through 6 is also going to be better connected. Now, next up, let's take a look at some projects that are still in the planning phases. So unlike these projects where they're either recently completed or under construction, these are still in the planning phase. And this is a part of the new $6 billion LAX airfield and terminal modernization project. Now, comprising of 2 projects, the first one is going to be Concourse 0. So Concourse 0 is going to be an extension of Terminal 1, and it will be located to the LA Exit Urban Transportation Facility. So that's this whole area right here. So what they're going to do is they're going to tear out this bridge here, and they're going to extend this out here. And they'll rebuild portions of the airfield out here to accommodate the space that can just come up and go down here. But there's going to be an extension coming off of Terminal 1 coming up here. It's going to be known as Concourse 0. This will include 9 gates with space for waiting areas, dining space, retail, as well as also an improved baggage claim, especially since they're probably going to have to redo a lot of the mix master that is around that area. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how this will go. Now, the next project is aforementionedly known as Terminal 9. So this new terminal, which will connect to Terminal 8, will offer space for 12 wide body gates and can be configured to have as much as 17 narrow body gates depending on the needs. When built, this will have its own stop at the automated people mover system. And there will be a complete rebuild of the roadways and connections at West Century Boulevard and South Sepulveda Boulevard. Excuse me. Sorry. This area over here is where Terminal 9 will be. I believe this is all just is this a satellite terminal that's out here? That's weird. So this will have its own new gate. I believe they'll probably have to relocate some of these hangars to another place off site. But right here, they will build a new automated people mover stop, and this will also will bridge over this road and connect back up, and they're going to redo a lot of these roadways leading up to Terminal 9, as well as for the rest of the Central Terminal Area program. With the completion of these projects in the upcoming 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, the airport is also launching a plan to rename these terminals to make it easier for travelers to know where to go. So with Concourse 0 being a part of Terminal 1, Concourse 0 will be the new A gates and Terminal 1 gates becoming the B gates. So that whole build, the Terminal 1 and Concourse 0 will be known as strictly Terminal 1, except Concourse 0 will be labeled as A, and the current Terminal 1 will be labeled as B. Now Terminals 2 and 3 are going to combine since it's pretty much used for Delta anyways, with the current Terminal 2 gates becoming the C gates and Terminal 3 becoming the D gates. Now, the Tom Bradley International Terminal B gates will be now named Terminal 3, with the landside gates becoming Terminal E and the midfield concourse being named Terminal F. With gate will be labeled as F. Terminals 4, 5, and 6 on the very southwest side are going to keep their numbers, with Terminal 4 being labeled the G gates, Terminal 5 being labeled the H gates, and Terminal 6 being labeled the J gates. Now, Terminal 7 and 8 will be rebranded as Terminal 7, again, because it's a United Airlines hub, with the existing Terminal 7 gates becoming the K gates, and the existing Terminal 8 gates becoming the L gates. Lastly, when Terminal 9 is built, that will take the name Terminal 8 and would be badged as the M gates. And hopefully they're supposed to try and have this done by the 2028 Olympics. I doubt that they're going to have that done because they're still planning on the terminals, and it's currently 2024. So they still have like 3.5 years to open this stuff up, or at least do construction and open this stuff up. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on at LAX. It's one of the busiest airports in the world. It has not gone back up to the 88 million passengers that it has seen in 2029. Back in 2019. I mean, it's 75 in 2023, making it one of the busiest airports in the world. But with LAX, going through pretty much a lot of these projects since 2008. Some of these are in the work, and like some of these are still under construction, and they should be finished up relatively soon. And LAX hopefully should set a modern standard for how airports are built. And hopefully this will help to improve the Western Gateway of the United States. And with that, we're going to end it right here, guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video, going over the multiple LAX modernization programs, pretty much collectively all together, pretty much combined into one that's been going on for over the past 25 years now. So if you guys liked what you saw, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. And make sure you guys hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future aviation videos, any mountain bike videos, and even any automotive videos, as well as any new weather live streams that we have. I mean, I had that happen earlier this week, and I believe it was a massive success for right now. There's still some stuff to work out, but I'm going to work on that pretty much through the winter time. And then in March, when tornado season comes up, you're going to see the full thing in action, and we're going to have fun. And lastly, leave a comment down below. Let me know what airports I should take a look at. We're pretty much about a third of the way through all of the airports that we need to look at, or at least that I'm going to re-look at, that I had made about 5 years ago in our American Airport Expansions series. But again, leave a comment telling me what airports I should look at. I've already got Newark, I've already got Washington Dulles, I've got Austin Bergstrom, and I've got Boston Logan. If there's any more that you guys think I should take a look at, put it in the comments. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you have a great weekend. Peace.